Hi guys, it's Alex from Lowly Road Consulting. I hope you're doing well. Before we get into it, I'd like to do a little bit of housekeeping if I could. If this kind of practical, real world HR guidance is helpful for you, make sure that you follow and that you like the video. And I would love to hear what you have to say in the comments if you have any experience about what we're about to discuss today. Let's get into it. If you've ever worked anywhere for, even a minute, I'm sure you've experienced this, maybe even on your own teams. One day, two coworkers are doing the coworker thing, right? And the next, they're kind of acting a little strange. They start showing up together, sitting next to each other, laughing, giggling, sharing inside jokes. And suddenly, the line between personal and professional has clearly shifted to everyone in the room. Employees don't stop being humans the moment that they clock in. And pretending like they do is how businesses can get into trouble. So with Valentine's Day coming up, this feels like the right moment to state the obvious. Workplace relationships aren't rare. In fact, about half of employees say that they've dated someone at work at some point or another. So it's not about office hearts or, crushes or anything like that. Really, this is about whether your business is prepared for them. So some businesses may call this a fraternization policy, others call it a dating policy or a workplace romance policy. For the sake of this video and in honor of Valentine's Day, I'm going to call it the workplace romance policy. Before getting into what a strong policy looks like, there's one thing that matters, probably just as much as the actual rules themselves. And that is the language and the tone. Like any policy, how it's written is going to send the message. So policies that sound threatening or moralizing or overly legal tell employees that bringing their issues to you is complicated and or risky. And the message is, don't bring this here unless you have to. So what happens is most employees will stay quiet, and that's exactly the opposite of what we want. When policies are clear and they're written in a neutral or human language, employees are far more likely to come forward. They'll ask questions, they'll disclose relationships, they raise concerns before situations even escalate. So with that in mind, let's talk about what a good workplace romance policy looks like. Number one is the acknowledgement. Employees are people and relationships are bound to happen at the workplace. And a good policy starts by naming that reality instead of pretending like it's not going to occur or even worse, banning it altogether. The goal isn't to control or to judge. It's about being professional, about being fair and protecting everyone involved, including the people that aren't even in the relationship themselves. Number two, having a clear definition. So a good policy is going to clearly define what a workplace romance looks like. Is it dating? Is it just romantic? Is it strictly sexual? Even if it's consensual, even if it's not serious. Having vague language creates loopholes, and loopholes are going to create risk. Consent alone doesn't remove workplace impact. Number three, direct language about power and authority. A good policy is going to be explicit about power. This isn't about feelings, it's about authority. If one person can influence another person's pay, schedule, assignments, performance reviews, discipline, job security, that relationship carries risk and it must be addressed. This is especially important because many workplace relationships, romances, involve managers and or supervisors. Number four, built-in structure to remove any conflicts. So good policy explains what the relationship structure will actually look like in the workplace. That might mean changing reporting lines, removing someone from performance review evaluations, or shifting approval authority. The point is simple. No one should be in a position to reward or punish someone that they're romantically involved with. Number 5, disclosure and oversight. A good policy spells out when disclosure is required, who this disclosure goes to, what happens next, someone outside of the relationship. So whether it be HR, ownership, or leadership, someone needs to be made aware. And they need to document the situation and reassess if circumstances change, which they usually do. But just as important, disclosure must be protected from retaliation. If honesty feels risky, employees will hide things, and that's when problems will definitely rear their ugly head. Number 6, a clear professional boundary. A good policy will set boundaries that people can understand. No favoritism, no special treatment, no blurred lines in meetings or scheduling or decision making, and no expectation that coworkers should absorb or accommodate someone else's personal relationship. Work still has to function, and the team still needs to move forward. Number 7, specific manager responsibilities. So, a clear policy is going to define managers' roles, when they should escalate, whether they're allowed to even handle it on their own, and when they must step out of any decision making entirely. So making sure that they're not handling things quietly. That's exactly what we want to avoid. Number 8, guidance for when relationships change or end. A good policy is going to plan for breakups because they do happen. It sets expectations for professionalism moving forward, continued collaboration, and zero tolerance for retaliation or harassment. Many workplace complaints start after relationships end, not while they exist. Number 9, enforcement and accountability. A good policy explains how concerns are raised, how violations are handled, what consequences look like, regardless of the role or the seniority. And it's reinforced through acknowledgement of HR manager training, and it's not buried in a handbook where employees need to look for it. So, with Valentine's Day approaching, this is a good time to review your own workplace romance policies. Are your policies clear? Are they approachable? Are they people first? And if you don't have a workplace romance policy, you know your workplace best. You know what your culture needs. And do you even need one? Maybe you don't. So for managers, HR, business owners, have you had to manage a workplace relationship? Tell me what worked. Tell me what didn't work. And if you had to do it all again, what would you change? Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one.